Well, Mel, this is actually a very critical moment in American history. We need to stand united even within the same MAGA movement, because I've seen and witnessed many divisions within us. And as the Romans used to say, divide and conquer. We are dividing our house and we are becoming weaker and weaker to external attacks, to the evil left that is taking over. Right. That's the truth. We have to not only manifest our ideology, but we have to do something constructive toward awakening awareness of what really is going on and wash out this sick propaganda of that the left is propagating through now their new puppet Kamala Harris, which is the embodiment of everything they represent, an artificial constructed product that is pushed out there to again rehearse the same policies, identity policies, gender policies. I'm a woman, I'm an immigrant, I don't care about pushing these boxes out there. I want to be heard for my content, not for my ethnicity, or I don't want to be empathized because of an accent or whatever. Right. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You know, there is no bigger equalizer than treating everybody equally. When we start identity policies, we are already discriminating certain categories and we are actually offending them. But for some reason, many people don't feel that way, even in the Black community right now, I can see many people finally raising their critical thinking and saying, wait a minute, we are great Americans, stop putting us in a box. Yeah, and that's really what I believe. So it's important that we all stand united. These are very important days up to the upcoming election. We have experienced another act of extremism from the evil left yesterday. But for some reason, they keep labeling Donald Trump and his supporters as terrorists. Right. But guess what? Who is the one who is targeted and victimized for different attempts to his life? It's Donald Trump. Who are the people persecuted by the justice system for supporting him? People like me, people like influencers in the MAGA world, like my husband, who have a voice. So who are the Nazi here? Who are the threats of our security, our democracy? Who is the threat? We know the answer by now, and we need to change this status of facts and take back not only America, but our institution and the trust of people in our institutions. Yeah. I feel exactly the same way. There is an order they're trying to constitute to rule even our political leaders. When we look at the Biden presidency, there is no Biden there. He's just the puppet master of a system that is guiding him. Right. Just look abroad, look in Europe. Everybody is blindly following American policies, American directive in main geopolitical balances direction. For example, the situation with Ukraine. There is absolutely no reason why European country like Italy or even Spain would implement sanctions and devolve their aids in terms of financial and military aids to Ukraine. They did it simply following the policies of Joe Biden, who is fighting Russia over the European continent. And that's no other reason behind it. I'm simplifying, of course, there is a lot of corruption underneath. But when we look into what we are supporting, this is one of the worst and most corrupted country in the world. There is a reason why the access of Ukraine has been denied by the European Union bloc many times, because it doesn't meet the standard of required to be part of Europe, which is standard of the rule that it's determined considering the rule of law, but even other parameters like corruption and debts and everything else. So if this country didn't have the standards to be part of the European Union until not long ago, how is that as a standard to be supported by the entire world at once? Absolutely. And, Mel, you said something really important before, why people should understand the importance of this election. And it's not about Trump. Trump happens to be only the candidate that can make this shift happen. We are facing a potential threat of a third world war, which means probably there won't be a fourth. That's as simple as that. And they still buy into this info operation they started a long time ago, they became master of, into brainwashing people that we as Americans are exporting democracy, are defending democracy, protecting people, nations from invasion. And I heard something really disturbing in the debates with Kamala, which actually made laugh most of European countries, but nobody really picked up on that in the American media, is when she said, we need to help our European allies because Ukraine is only first, it will follow Poland and all of Europe.
Such a lie.
So it's not only a lie, it's a stupid lie for stupid kids. People know history and know European history, mostly back in my European continent, they laugh at the level of the debating on the topic of Ukraine. They said, how she can go on national television debating a presidential candidate saying something that's stupid. There is no Putin czar, there is no Putin trying to expand his border. The roots of his war are much different, and you have to look into the NATO expansion policies and many other historical reasons that we're not talking about right now. But, we discussed it even many times, even on your show. So how can Kamala Harris go on TV and say, oh, we have to help our European allies? You know what the Italian press was responding to? Big, fat laugh like hers.
I know.
It's ridiculous. I mean, you can't be that stupid. Well, you made incredible points. The reason why I think Americans are not so reactive to what is happening right now and they don't see what's coming is because America is the greatest country in the world, but it's also one of the youngest. So you don't have this history of wars and dictatorships and all that we have lived in European continent through our ancestry, so people have skin in the game, they understand what's coming. So this is another reason why I look at Kamala and I say, okay, a leader that wants to be a leader, let's say, because I think she was placed there with no qualities. So she has the duty to educate herself at the least. There are many voices like yours who are perfectly aware of what's going on. Why not the people that are running for the country? And, Donald Trump has this vision. He has this knowledge. He has the quality to take back the country to a space of safety where it's still undoubtedly the leading power in the world. We're still at this point, but it's like now in a decadent phase. And of course, it's sufficient to look a little bit abroad and overseas and see what's going on and how people start to perceive America right now. It's not the same America I used to look at, in the early 2000s. It's completely different. Yeah. Absolutely. That's the media. Media is a huge power. Actually, the subject of my latest documentary with Igor Lopatonok is not about Hunter's laptop, right? It's Hunter's laptop record for Ukraine, but it's about how specifically media manipulation led to weaponization of power. We have a collusion on double side. We have headlines and we have impunity, a justice system that is just not held accountable of the author of these crimes. So until we will not hold people accountable, they will keep doing it. We have cut the head of the snake to, start fresh new situation. So until we will keep entertaining the system, we will never see the light. So that's the reason why it's important that the media are held accountable as well. Are held accountable also for malpractice. Like what about the debate with Kamala Harris and Biden and President Trump? I mean, we could see how partisan and how angry the so-called moderator were. This is a hostility that itself disturbing, no matter which side are you on. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see three people debating one. You want to see people confronting in policies and visions. And the role of the moderator is not the one to make one of the candidates look bad or look in a certain light. So this is just another example of how media are committed to work for this agenda. Everything we know, media is part of this huge misinformation operation that is shaping what people know and people don't know. You mentioned Hollywood, you mentioned big superstars, These people are there with their billion-dollar houses, disconnected from what's going on underneath their luxury lifestyles, and still they're endorsing one candidate because it's probably cool to do it, because you're set to do it. So they're master manipulators, and they're a bunch of people that don't even understand what they're doing. Yeah, but they're fighting for battles that are already won. When people step back and look what they're fighting for, like inclusion or acceptance of gay marriages or homosexuality or any preference on your sexual life, we come to the realization that that's an easy slogan. It's a slogan that is appealing for many people who don't feel included for different reasons. But when we look at American societies back on years ago, we had a black president, how this country is racist, let's use common sense and fight for what we don't have accomplished yet, which is safety, because America is increasingly unsafe, legal immigration, because illegals are taking away from legals, to put it that simple, and also economy, peace in the world. These are the arguments of the debate. I'm tired of the left always rehearsing battles that are already accomplished. Even talking about abortion, why Kamala Harris is centering her entire campaign on abortion. I mean, Trump didn't ban abortion, so it's a lie. It's actually the limit in time when you can execute an abortion, which in every civilized country can be after 3 months of pregnancy, appears to be a huge ban in the mouth of Kamala Harris, which is actually completely unethical, and it's immoral, and it's disgusting thinking that we can take away a pregnancy after 3 months. So I don't understand all this emphasis on trying to brainwash women that somebody wants to take away one of their rights. There are many contraceptive methods. Use them. You don't need to use abortion as a contraception. That's that easy. And nobody's telling you that you can't abort. Actually, Donald Trump has been very clear about that. But for some reason, and which is a scary reason, Kamala Harris keeps using this argument for winning an election. Can we believe that? We are at war.
I know.
The hypothetical. We're talking about that. I mean, that's completely ridiculous. And also, I want to say it again, I will always fight against abortion after the 3rd month. This is just a rule that is implemented everywhere else in the world. And for some odd reason, American women feels like it's a violation to their freedom to not, murder a child at 9 months. But my thoughts on that are really about even how during my work, I found out that some agencies abroad are delegated to do intelligence for the United States. So basically, we should stop delegating, like STL in the UK are doing intelligence for the United States of America. Why we delegate agencies abroad? First question. So why we are participating to this global effort to control and shaping the narrative at a global level, as you say, this word keep coming up. That's, of course, it's a matter of leadership, a matter of, taking back your power and not even shaping your narrative. There is no need to shape any narrative. There is a need to stop allowing agencies to impose a certain way of vision, influencing our youth, and trying to, like Soros did, master to create the trends all around the world. Social media today is another tool they 100%. Use, like TikTok or any other, and influencers as well. But, everybody's entitled to say what they want in the end. But when you are brainwashed, you tell what you believe to believe because you are brainwashed. That's the ultimate achievement of these information operations. These are information operations that are the biggest weapon. This is the biggest war weapon we are facing today. Well, only yesterday, Italy's prosecutor has the 6 years of a prison for one of our ministers, Matteo Salvini, which happens to embody the populist visions of right wing and this. Why so? What's the reason for this request? It's because he was trying to protect Italian borders from illegal immigration. So as a result, the prosecutors has the 6 years. Now, what does it tell us? That lawfare and weaponization of justice is not simply something that we experience here. It's a global effort to stop leaders of freedom, nationalists, and the people that are protecting sovereignty, like Matteo Salvini. So there is nothing wrong about affirming your identity, protecting your borders, defending your country. But these are reasons now that constitutes the ground for indictments like the one we have seen yesterday in Italy. So we are seeing that the populist voices, as we want to call them like that, I'm proud to see be part of it because you represent what people's want, elite wants, right? So populist voices are trying to be stopped. The populist leader are trying to be eliminated through, weaponization of justice on one side, and we have seen a physical elimination with all these assassination attempts here and abroad. So it's really disturbing to see that at which extent the hostility and the opposition to our voices have become narrow and more narrow because people are scared away. Think about Steve Bannon, as we talk, is sitting in a prison jail. I interviewed him one day before he reported to prison. That's for this documentary. And I'm telling you, I could see a great spirit, a true fighter, somebody that wasn't remotely intimidated or scared.
Why he's in jail?
Why he was heading to jail the day before. And that was really retrieved my trust that we have incredible characters here within the movement that can really make the job to save the Republic, Well, January 6th is a very controversial topic because on the one hand, you have people that are suffering incredibly long sentencing for simply walking around the Capitol, not even entering the Capitol. Other people have been winded up by infiltrators. We have seen images that have circulated on the web about this Fed that was basically inciting people. So if anyone was inciting people to do any sort of infraction to the law, this was like the Feds. So there is nobody in January 6th that has been killed on their side. Only one person was killed on our side, is Ashley Babbitt, and nobody, I think, make her name enough because this person was simply walking, was not constituting any threat to anybody, but they had to provoke a death, of course, because this is the way they believe that's going to dramatize the event. But on the other hand, it's all built around one goal, and to portray Trump supporters as terrorists. If you see everybody has been listed on a terrorist list, they can travel, they can do anything. So this is all about perception. They create, like in the case of Steve Bannon, not many people even know why he's in jail. He's jailed for defying a subpoena, which is ridiculous, right? 4 months imprisonment for defying a subpoena, and also he appealed to his executive privilege, but has been disregarded completely. So we are talking about a case that is really, really weak, but what they want is to create a headline and people perception of this individual as a criminal, so that they build up Donald Trump, felon, all his supporters, felons, and January 6th protester, terrorist. This is the biggest operation of character assassination, not only of Donald Trump, but of everyone else who embraces beliefs. And it's something that goes far and beyond Donald Trump, and they're very scared of it. And it followed with many other people up to President Trump.
I know, but talk about just for people that don't understand.
We have seen an escalation of senseless indictments up to the top. I mean, up to Donald Trump. So now we know exactly what happened to my husband. He was the first and to be pretty honest, if he didn't oppose as he did, probably the entire scam wouldn't be exposed. I think in many ways Donald Trump knows that if he saved his presidency in many ways, exposing the Russia hoax. If it was silence, nobody would know. It's true, and we said it's character assassination and the attempt to the core of your essence as a human, which is your reputation. You don't have anything without your reputation. Like even in my case, I start to be portrayed as a Russian spy, untrustworthy, that, trying to look to any single flaw in my, nobody ever talked about my career, my long experience in the European Union, like a legal advisor. I mean, these are all credits on my CV that nobody ever mentioned, even once. But they talk about my accent, they talk about my hair and everything else. So show how stupid and selective they are.
Exactly.
But talking about what happened to Georgia's patient zero, you're completely right when you say if we don't stop it, lawfare is gonna take over, and that is what happened. Somehow, I feel like something stronger should have been done already during the first presidency.
I agree. Yeah.
Trump. I think he lost an opportunity at the time to really hold accountable the the actors, the players of Crossfire Hurricane, I wish I would have seen more of them in jail, even though some of them are in jail. But for example, the very same person that interviewed my husband and set him up for a crime is now in jail. We have accountability, but people, some sort of accountability, but media would not give echo to this accountability because we want to suppress the story. So when we suppress story, this is actually election interference. When we talk about election interference, it's not making up stories that Putin is sending people to influence election. In America, doesn't care. He has biggest fishes to fry, right? But we're talking about critical stories that are suppressed by the media and they're not prosecuted by our justice system, like Hunter's laptop, for example. We understand we are victim of election interference. We are prevented to know the truth about critical facts that would shape our opinions. Thank you so much. So you can find me and my work on X at Simona Mangiante and on Instagram as well, Simona_Mangiante_.